See, the mic's way over here.
Loud and obnoxious.
Yeah, the kicker was the and obnoxious too. So how about you just write and I'll narrate.
Okay. This is not good.
I'll narrate. All right, so it's not me writing right now. Lexi is currently at the board. She is multiplying. We don't know by what yet, but she is currently multiplying in the wrong color.
Oh, does it matter what color?
Not for you. She's going to multiply the bottom by the square root of 5b, which is then going to force her to multiply the top by the square root of 5b.
Have you ever thought about doing this as a...
Voiceovers? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, big time. I got the face for radio.
Good thing you don't need a face for radio.
That's why I got it. So then on top she gets 2b times the square root of 5b all over 5b. And then she sees, now she's switching colors, she sees that there's a b on top and a b on the bottom. So she drew one line all the way through, which leaves her with 2 times the square root of 5b all over 5. I could not have done that problem better myself, other than putting it all in the right color.
Oh, sorry.
I'm teasing.
You have to do his box. Oh, cool.
Yeah, she dotted that one. Yes, now put the box around it. Now you can say boom goes the dynamite.
Give me my teaching degree right now.
You can say boom goes the dynamite first.
Boom goes the dynamite.
Anybody want to do 16?
I got 16 wrong.
Anybody?
Can you see if this is right?
Did you get this 2 times the square root of 3 over 15? Nope. Then it's not right.
I got 2 times 4.
You got it? You want to do it? I'll narrate it again for you. I got no problem sitting here narrating.
You should do the entire class.
Next up, we have Kevin Lee.
Next to that.
Now batting. So Kevin's going to multiply by a fraction in green, and he's going to multiply by, okay, all right, Kevin's going big time. He's going 5 times the square root of 3 on the bottom, which means he's got to multiply by 5 times the square root of 3 on the top. We'll call it a 5. It's a 5. We're good with it. So, okay, all right. That's an arrow, folks. For those of you following along at home, that last thing is an arrow. We had to ask, too. Okay, so on top, he gets 10 times the square root of 3. On the bottom, he gets 75, because 5 times 5 is 25. The square root of 3 times the square root of 3 is 3. 25 times 3 is 75. Divide top by 5, so that gives us, and the bottom by 5, so that gives us 2 times the square root of 3. And now what does he got to do to finish it off, folks? It's right there in the bottom. Yep, right above. Yep, that one. Yep. And now box it. That's a great muffin top box. And then what do you say?
There you go. Boom goes the dynamite.
Yeah. Now we're talking. So the last answer I get is the square root of 5 and then x squared and y. So I get x squared times the square root of 5 over y squared. No? I'm guessing that I have to stop being the color commentator and have to go up and do this one? You want to do it?
I'll do it.
Did you get it?
Yeah.
Is that what you got?
Of course.
Well, let's make it happen then.
I don't know if I did like the right steps, but
Okay. Hey, whatever, you can do whatever you want, sister.
you already started with blue last one.
That's okay. She good.
Okay, so I'm just gonna rewrite it.
Yeah, that's a good plan. So rewriting it as square root of 25. Oh, yeah, okay. All right, yeah. Well, because otherwise you're just rewriting the exact same thing.
Well, I just need it bigger.
Again with the shouting.
Sorry.
Square root of, how about, now, do you have this done, or do you want me to talk you through it, and you just write what I have?
I have it done.
Okay, stop yelling at me and do it then.
I'm gonna laugh. It's wrong. But he said my exact answer. So.
Okay, so breaking it up as the square root of 25, the square root of x to the 5th, and the square root of y to the 7th. Okay, that's the top. Then the bottom, square root of 5, square root of x, square root of y to the 9th. Okay?
Okay, so. See,
Now,
I don't even know
can I
how-
ask you a personal type question? Did you multiply through and rationalize your denominators, or did you just simplify right from there?
I simplified right from that.
Okay, that's perfect. Because then, so the square root of 25 divided by the square root of 5 is what?
I just canceled this out.
Yep. And then that one becomes?
This is the square root of 5.
Yep. Okay.
And then, that's x to the 5th, right?
Yep. How about, can you do me a favor? Just switch to another color.
Oh.
There you go.
I can do that. Alright.
So that square root of x goes away, and then that becomes on top x to the, it becomes the square root of x to the 4th,
Oh,
which then becomes x squared.
okay, well,
You understand what I'm saying?
yeah.
Don't worry, I'll fix it.
Okay. Alright, so then this goes out,
Yep.
and then this one's gonna be, that one's just gonna be the square root of
Y squared, which then just becomes y. Right? Oh, look at that. Triple colors.
Okay, so that's y.
Okay? So then you're left with x squared. So let's rewrite it now. X squared times the square root of 5 over y. Box it. And waiting on it.
Boom goes the dynamite.
There you
I
go.
almost said, here comes the boom.
Here comes the boom. That would have worked too. I would have accepted that too. Right? Love it. All great, all good. Now, I'm going to tweak these problems just a little bit because that's one way to do it, and that's fine. This was all good. Number 15, I'm good with. That's how I would have done it too. Okay? Number 16, first what I would have done is I would have said, well, that's 2 on top, and then 5 square roots of 3 on the bottom. So I would have just multiplied by the square root of 3 over the square root of 3. Okay? And then on top, that gives me 2 square roots of 3. On the bottom, these two make a 3, and I get 15 right away. Okay? You know what I mean? You don't have to multiply by the entire denominator. You only got to get rid of the radical. So only multiply by the radical. One option. Okay? Right? But you still get the same thing.
Why are you still holding that ruler?
Better now?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Over here on 17, I'm going to have to scroll down just a little bit. Okay. So if I'm looking at the original fraction, let me just rewrite it. Square root of 25x to the 5th, y to the 7th, over the square root of 5x, y to the 9th. Okay. So 5 divided by 5, or 25 divided by 5 is 5, so that's where we got the square root of 5 on top from those two right here. Okay? Now, if I'm looking at x's, there's 4 more x's on top, so it's the square root of x to the 4th. If I'm looking at y's, there's the square root, there's 2 more y's on the bottom, so that's why it's the square root of y squared, which then gets me to what we have. Okay? Questions on those 3? Okay? Now, today we have one last style of problem that we need to talk about. Okay? And that is if you have a plus or a minus in your denominator. If you have an addition or a subtraction sign in your denominator, you have to think of conjugates. We talked a little bit yesterday about conjugates when we were doing some multiplication type warm-ups. Okay? So we have to think about conjugates. Remember that a conjugate is if I have x plus y, the conjugate then becomes x minus y. Same terms, just change the sign. Okay? Same terms, change the sign. Okay? Likewise, if it's x minus y, the conjugate then would be x plus y. Okay? So, in number 18 then, because I want to rationalize that denominator, I can't just multiply by the square root of 2. Okay? Don't write this down, because if I were to just multiply by the square root of 2 over the square root of 2, on the bottom then, I'd get 3 square roots of 2 plus 2. And I'd still be sitting with a radical in the denominator. So that's why we can't just do it that way. So I'm going to multiply by the conjugate. The conjugate here of the denominator is 3 minus the square root of 2. But from yesterday, what's the one rule that we have? So because I can only multiply the whole thing by 1. So if I multiply the bottom by that, I got to also multiply the top by the exact same thing. And now my red fraction is equal to 1. Okay, with me? Okay. So now it becomes a wonderful, fun-filled, distributive type problem, where on the top I distribute in there. So my top becomes 6 minus 2 square roots of 2. The denominator becomes 3 times 3 is 9, minus 3 times the square root of 2. And then I've got those two, so that then is plus 3 square roots of 2 minus square root of 2 times the square root of 2 is just 2. Okay. What do I know about these middle two terms? They cancel each other out, so that leaves me with 6 minus 2 square roots of 2 all over 7. And now I have to ask myself, is there anything that goes into 6, 2, and 7? Okay, because I'm looking at those outside numbers. And if there's something that goes into all 3 of them, I would then reduce that out. If there's not, I leave it. I put my fancy pink dashed box around it, and I say, boom goes the dynamite. Okay? With me? What I would like you to do now is I would like you to do both numbers 19 and 20. So, in number 19, what am I going to multiply by? Top and bottom, both by 2 plus the square root of 3. Oh, I went purple first. I drank a quick swig of water when I went back into the office to grab the good marker, and it went down the wrong pipe. Don't worry, I'm going to push through it. I get it all the time.
Why are you laughing at me? I basically am. I'm not even joking.
Hey,
Every joint.
You want to go? Let's go. Let's go. I will wail on you. Alright, so then I get 4 plus 2 square roots of 3. 2 square roots of 3 minus 3. Yes, with me so far? Okay, so Middle two? What about those middle two? They gone. And 4 minus 3 is? 1. So I don't even have a denominator anymore. So my answer here is just 10 plus 5 square roots of 3. Yeah.
So then you don't want to.
Are you serious?
Do I look like I'm serious?
No. Honestly.
Do we ever write over 1? Ever.
No.
Exactly.
But.
What's up, KG?
You don't have to like simplify that.
We could if we wanted to. Like, you could factor out a 5 and like give your answer as 5. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa,
Watch yourself.
whoa, whoa. We could give our answer as 5 times the quantity 2 plus the square root of 3, like that. Like that. That would be the only acceptable answer. These two are the only two acceptables.
I was like, I meant like if you like divided like 5 by 5 and then 6 by 5.
No, because there's no 5 in the denominator. Yeah. Yeah. I pushed this button right here. If you just use the tray, it's the thickness. If you use these, it's the thinness. That's how I got it set up. That's how I roll when we go, boom goes the dynamite. Okay? Some people might say boom shakalaka. There must be some toros in the atmosphere. What? Like you. Okay? Alright? Did you get my it's cold in here, there must be some toros in the atmosphere reference?
What is that reference?
Hufflepuff, did you get that reference?
What you just said?
Yeah. Yeah.
What is the reference?
Bring it on.
Bring it
Yeah.
on.
The original. Not one of the 18 different remakes.
I'm glad you spent your time watching Bring It On.
Yes, that's my favorite.
Yeah, they brought it. Okay? Alright? So on top. Oop, I think I did I do the wrong color. Oh, I did it in the wrong color. Curses. Should be the purple. So then on top I get 70 plus 10 square roots of 13. On the bottom, I get 7 times 7 is 49, plus 7 square roots of 13, and I get minus 7 square roots of 13, minus 13. Oops. What? My twos? Oh, it might be that way. Okay? Alright? So that gets me to 7d plus 10 square roots of 13 all over 36. Okay? What can you tell me about 10, 70, and 36? They are all divisible by 2. So that means we'll go red. Okay? So 36 divided by 2 is 18. 70 divided by 2 is 35. And 10 divided by 2 is 5. I have to do it in all 3 spots, not just 2. Okay? I've got to do it in all 3 spots. So then that gives me a final answer of 35 plus 5 times the square root of 13 all over 18. And, what's up? That's okay, because, whoa, why you gotta throw stuff at Josh? Because then, you know what we can also do? Lexi, at the very end.
Drop a mic.
Well, it's not a mic.
Well, then drop that.
Drop the stylus. I'm not gonna drop my microphone. Gripes! Alright, so, you have two things that I need to talk about now. Thing number one that I need to talk about is yesterday you got I grabbed a good one. You got a green sheet yesterday. Okay? That green sheet is due next week, Thursday. Well, we don't have school Friday of this week. Yeah. So it's not going to be due this week Friday.
I know, I'm talking about next week.
The summative is next week Thursday.
Oh,
So we're going to have it due on the day of the test.
good to know.
Okay? Okay? Tomorrow, I love ya. Tomorrow, it's only a day away for you Annie fans out there. Okay? Tomorrow, there will be a formative assessment. Okay? I know. Exactly. Okay? So you have the remaining mod to work on the green sheet because you now can do 100% of the green sheet. You can also use this time to get caught up on last week's formative that lots of people need to make corrections on. Last week's homework fixes that some people need to fix on. And you can do green sheet. Okay? Right? So you got plenty of stuff that you can be doing here on out.